has ever used LinkedIn before? So you all have accounts. How consistently do you use LinkedIn? Not really often. You don't really maintain it pretty consistently? Okay, gotcha. All right, well, we're going to be going over some of the things. For starters, my name is Adam. I'm a molecular biology major. I'm a sophomore, and this is my second semester as a career ambassador.
I'm Cassie. I'm in English. I'm in the English program, and I'm a sophomore. And this is my first semester as a career ambassador.
I'm Savannah. I'm a sophomore. I'm in communication media, and this is my third semester as a career ambassador.
Okay, so some of the learning outcomes we have for y'all today is learning how to make and manage your connections, as well as sending customized connection requests, how you can use LinkedIn to promote your personal and professional brand, and how you can update your LinkedIn periodically with maintain.
Alrighty, so we're going to start things off with keeping the mood a little bit light. We're going to do an icebreaker. So like I said, I anticipate a little more people, but what we're basically going to be doing is we're going to be giving you a tangible representation of networking and how it's done, and how easy it is really to relate to other people professionally. So in front of each of you, you should have 5 paper clips. And so what I would like you to do is during the next 5 to 6 minutes, I would like you to intermingle with each other and just share facts about yourself, try to get to know the person and try to find similarities between you and the other person professionally, such as what major you're in. You might be in the same major as that person. You might want to work at the same company as that person. You might want to go to grad school just like the other person. So similarities like that. And if you do find a similarity, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to exchange a paperclip, and that would symbolize a connection. So for the first connection, you'll have 1 paperclip. For the next one, you can actually hook it onto the paperclip, so making more connections. So just do that for the next 5 to 6 minutes, and then we will reconvene and we will talk about it. Sound good? Any questions? Awesome. All right, so let's get to intermingling. What? Yeah. And you can get up from your tables and walk around too. We're gonna have to do that eventually. So.
I'm in sustainable materials and technology. Yeah?
Are you about?
I'm exploratory studies, doing science. Oh my gosh. Exciting. Oh, I started out in exploratory studies.
I was gonna go there.
Do you build on the same one or you
I
just
don't know.
That's the way to share.
I'm Ag Ed. Okay. Where do you want to do that? Ag teacher. Okay. Where do you want to teach? Like it was high school. I used to want to do that. Okay. There you go. Add it to your next one.
I'm soft.
Be anything. Does anyone want to go to grad school?
I'm a freshman also?
You want to go to grad school? Where do you want to go? Like what kind of graduate program? MBA.
What colleges are you guys in?
Yeah.
Just gonna,
So we just get this.
Yeah.
where are you guys from?
Just keep track of the ones that you get from somewhere else. So.
I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, that was sophomores.
Are you guys involved? What's their main activity or interest?
Okay, kind of counts.
I've heard each other from before.
Yeah.
Do any of y'all want to go to grad school or professional school?
Maybe. Yeah. Spanish club.
I have a roommate who's
Mutual friend.
There we go.
Or like freshman door.
Yeah.
I was in Lee freshman year.
Hey, just come on in.
I lived in Tucker.
We're gonna have to start a new table. We can start a new table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't really know how to do it.
We're all roommates.
Run out of things to think about.
What's your favorite TV shows?
Investment banking.
Yeah.
But I like the Office. I just watched the Big Short movie.
I guess that applies to investment banking.
Good example.
Almost graduated on time. Are you all from North Carolina?
Yeah. All right, everybody, we're gonna bring you back in. So I hope that kind of gave you an idea of how you can network with people. I know we kind of ran out of things to talk about and whatnot, but I mean, it really is as simple as just having a commonality like a major or a hobby or something like that to connect with. And we're going to be going over how you can apply that to your LinkedIn account. Also, just out of curiosity, who had, let's say, 3 connections? Who made 3 connections with other people? Raise your hands if you made 3 connections. Okay, how about 4? 5? Okay, 4 was the most. Do you mind if I ask you a question here?
Sure.
Okay, out of those 4 connections, do you remember every single similarity that you shared with that person? For each one? You do?
At least 3 of them.
3 of them, okay. Well, that's good. Well, the point I was trying to make there is I did not expect you to do that. That's impressive. That's good. But the point I'm trying to make is whenever you're making connections, you want to strategize with it, I guess. It's not an Instagram account. It's not a Facebook account. You don't want to go down the list just connecting with people and trying to build your network that way. You want to have a reason why you're connecting with somebody. They have to be associated with a company you want to work at. They have to be in a field that you want to possibly get involved with. So you got to take all these things into account and just don't do it for the quantity reason. Do it for the quality. Now you can take the quantity route, which I will talk about a little bit later, but mainly just think about the purpose and why you're connecting this person rather than just trying to get your network larger and get your connections higher. So.
Okay, and going on with that, about like quality connections and quantity, this is kind of a way to build your network. So like finding connections and who you can like connect with right away. Like all of you guys who were here earlier said you guys all have one of that. So you've already like started that. And so just going over like who you should connect with, you should connect automatically with your friends and your family. These are people that should accept your request right away. You maybe not even have to write a personal note because your mom should accept your request. Then alumni, this is like, we'll go over the alumni search tool here in a little bit, but this is where you can reach out to alumni of NC State who are more than likely willing to help out other students. And then also classmates, so the people you sit next to in class, especially for your major classes, they want to do things similar to what you want to do with. So they're like good people to have connecting with. Fellow club members, so if you're involved in Greek life or like student government, those are pretty solid connections. And then professors, coworkers and supervisors, these are more professional ones, and these are people you also want to send a message with as long as alumni. And then the different strategies for connecting with people. So again, like hitting on the alumni search tool that we'll go over, and we'll also cover company pages, and then also going through your mutual connections with people, so people that your brother or sister may be connected to that you can maybe connect with as well. And then the people you may know section under your connections. This is a great way just to see like faces without having to search your name. They'll just pop up and you may know them from class or other activities. And then also asking for introductions to new connections. So this is when you can reach out to someone, like your career counselor is a good person to reach out to for this, and they can try to connect you with someone that they know whose career path aligns with like where you want to go.
Okay, so whenever you're asking to connect, this is how you're mainly going to grow your LinkedIn network. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do this. Actually, let's do this. Okay, so what you're going to want to do here is you want to go to My Network. So for example, this is your kind of nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So based on like LinkedIn's algorithm, it knows who you're connected with, and it will present options to you based on the people you're already connected with. They may have similarities, things like that. I don't really know how the algorithm works, but I just know that they pertain to something.
Can you make that just a smidge bigger?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. I'm blind back here.
Can everyone see that? Is that good?
So great.
All right, awesome. So what you do is you would find a similarity. Remember, you don't want to go down this list just hitting connect.
Unless you do know the person like
Yeah.
that, then.
Yeah, in that case. So let's say Audrey was associated with a company that I want to work at. So what you could do is you would hit connect, and it did not pull up.
Pull up their profile.
Okay, so whenever you hit connect, this will come up, and it gives you the option of either sending the connection directly or adding a note. Now, what do you think would be the best option here? Just to connect or to add the note? Probably the note, right? Because it personalizes it and it tells this person why Savannah, this person they may have never met, is connecting with them. So you always want to add a note when you're making a connection. We're going to go over specifically how to do that, but the general format that you're going to want to have with a note is you're going to want to introduce yourself, say, hey, my name is Adam, and then explain the reason why you're even sending a connection. I could say, I noticed that you are doing this, I noticed that you're proficient in this language, or you have worked at this company before, and I'm really interested in getting to know more about the company, more about the environment of the company, and maybe if it's a good fit for me or not. And then at the very end, thank them for their time, and you can send the connection after that. So it's really that simple. And like I said, you want to have a reason why you're connecting. You don't want to go all the way down the list. But yeah, that's the general format with connecting.
Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about writing connection requests, we have an activity so that y'all can practice writing your own. Up here we have my profile, Savannah's and Adam's, along with what our majors are, and then an interesting fact about us. So what we want you to do at your tables is pick one of us, whoever you think you might have the most in common with, or whoever you think is going to be the easiest to write a connection request to, and practice writing a request. You can use each other as a reference, but we'd really love it if you could each come up with your own personalized request to one of us. And then afterwards, if you feel confident in it, you are more than welcome to go and connect with one of us on LinkedIn after the presentation.
Does that sound good? All right. So everyone, please formulate your hypothetical connection.
You can talk to each other if you think
Yeah.
it might help to brainstorm with one another.
You guys can write it down, type it on your phone, you can go on your laptop.
And if you don't see a similarity, like just a striking similarity that you would send a connection, because of that similarity, like that's fine. Honestly, just like you can kind of just make it up. All we really want you to do is just get the format down. That's really it. So it's okay if you're not interested in any of that, but you can just completely make it up as far as your interest in that. So it's just about the format.
Just so you all know, our headshot photographer is here, so if anyone does want to get a headshot for LinkedIn, our professional photographer is here. So we had kind of advertised that as part of this launch, so if y'all, are any people interested in that? Yeah? Okay, cool, good. We'll do that at the end.
Take advantage of it. Free photographer.
Yeah.
Good.
Does everyone need more time, or are we set? Everyone's good? Okay.
Does anybody want to share their connection request? Do you think you did really well on it, or maybe you struggled with it? Come on, guys. We're all friends here. No one's gonna judge. My first connection request was really, really bad, so I'm sure you did better than mine.
Did anyone write one down? At all?
Type.
Our group over here talked a little bit about who they might connect with and what they might say. What did y'all say?
Well, I struggled, but Savannah, I'm doing comm, so I think we have like similar interests. So I said I would probably best connect with you. And I guess we kind of just said, start off, introduce yourself, and then, yeah, from there we don't really know.
I think from there, like, since we do have the same major, I think if you're going into it, connecting with a fellow peer, you would say like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'd like to connect with you because we have the same major and we're at the same school, like, I would just want to follow like what you're doing, things like that.
You make it sound easy.
I mean, peer-to-peer is a lot more casual too, because I'm not a working professional.
Yeah.
I'm in your same major, like, we have class together, things like that, so it's a lot like less stressful, or like,
That's a good place to start. Like
yeah.
Practicing with requests to your
Yeah.
peers, and then like moving up from there.
Also, another thing to note is if you ask, like, let's say someone gives a presentation or something, and you go up to them directly afterwards and ask them like, hey, is it alright if I connect with you? Sometimes if you're familiar enough with that person, you don't have to send a request. I think Savannah did mention that earlier. But even in those cases, like, it never hurts. It just personalizes it completely. So definitely always something that you want to do.
And up here, we just had 2 generic requests for y'all to look over that maybe could spark your creative juices a little bit. If you wanted to take a picture of them with your phone, you are more than welcome to. But basically, you're just going to look for commonalities, whether it's maybe you both were in the same sorority or the same fraternity. Alumni like to connect with you. They love hearing what up-and-coming students are doing, whether it's in the university or what they're looking for. Similar interests. If you admire someone's career path, telling them that, compliments are they help. People always love to hear, I really like the path that you took, it's unconditional, would you mind telling me more about that? And they're much more likely to connect with you than if you just said, hi, I saw your profile, love to connect, send. So just some things to think about.
Yeah, if you can really pull something out of their profile, that really makes them more likely to want to message you back and connect with you. Because a lot of these people are really busy, but if you took the time to look through their profile and send them a connection request, more than likely, especially alumni. And then benefits of following companies. So earlier we mentioned that companies were a strategy to find connections, and these are just some of the benefits. So a lot of them post new jobs, so in your LinkedIn feed you will see like postings for jobs and positions that are opening up. They also have potential connections. You can read the comments and you can read who's tagged in them, and maybe that's someone that you'd be interested in connecting with. Also, you stay up to date on company news, and they provide great discussion points for interviews. If you're in an interview and you bring up something that's posted on the company's LinkedIn, they'd be like really impressed, and they'd be like, wow, they actually care about the company in this position. So those are just some awesome ways to connect with companies.
All right, one of my favorite features of LinkedIn is the alumni search tool. Now, out of those that do have a LinkedIn account, how many of you have used this at any point? All right, we got 2. Okay, so as Savannah said, NC State's alumni network, especially on LinkedIn, is so broad. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of NC State alumni on LinkedIn that you could potentially message and get information from. And that automatically already puts you ahead of people who did not take the time to do that, because you already know more about the company, you already know more about what they do, and you basically already have an inside source into the venture that you're pursuing that they're affiliated with. So I'm showing you how to operate the alumni search tool. Okay, we're just gonna stick with this. Can everyone see this, or do I need to zoom in a little bit more? All right, cool. So, what you want to do is you want to go up to the search bar at the very top and type in NC State. And you'll have this blue button here that says See Alumni. So what you want to do is you want to click on that. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so once you do that, this comes up, and this kind of gives you like a demographical representation of what they are doing essentially, but it's obviously not specific to anything. So I mean, it's not really much you can do with this, but let's say you want to go into digital marketing or something. So based on NC State's alumni, you can type that in, and you can see what disciplines they're working in, where they work, where they're doing this digital marketing, and also where they live. But the more important thing about that is the people that come up. So once you do that, you have all these outputs of LinkedIn users, and these are all NC State alumni that are affiliated with digital marketing in some way or another. So that automatically should pop out to you guys and be like, hey, I can easily connect with one of these people or message them and ask them questions about something. And you could really go through these and see where they're working and maybe investigate those companies. You might find a company that you didn't know about before that that might look cool to you, something like that. So yeah, that's one of the things you can do. And it obviously goes beyond digital marketing. You can type in mechanical engineering, agricultural education, like you want to do, things like that. You can also specify the year that they attended. So for example, whenever I used this, whenever I first started using this, I want to go to medical school for grad school, and it's very like the application process for that is changing. So it was better to have a recent source for that as opposed to a later source. So as far as the year parameters, I made sure that it was very recent, so I could speak to very recent graduates of NC State, because their information would be a lot more helpful and insightful as opposed to someone who graduated in the 80s, something like that. And it actually led me to find a CA who had graduated already, and he was going to medical school, and I had no idea that that person was out there. So you never know what you're going to find with this thing. So.
It's also a cool way to look at, you can even look at your major and see how many alumni from your specific major are on there. And this is also a good way to kind of, so you guys said you guys are in exploratory studies, this is a good way to kind of see like who's working there, like what they do in those specific majors, or if you're in a major and you're not really sure, it's also a great way to like kind of narrow down the jobs out there.
Definitely. And another tool that I wanted to show you all is through the Job tab. So what you can do is you can go up to the very top and click on this, Jobs. And before I show you this, I also just wanted to tell you all, if you click on Career Interests here, it pulls up this, I guess like questionnaire type deal. And what this does is no one sees this, I believe that's correct, no one sees this, but what this does is it tells LinkedIn what you're interested in and just basically the things that you are currently trying to do professionally. And this is another thing that gets inputted into the search algorithm, the things that LinkedIn presents to you on your LinkedIn page. And based on this information, it presents to you companies that you may want to work at. It may present you internships that you might want to apply for, things like that based on how you fill this out. So just that's not a huge thing as far as networking goes, but I've found this to be very pivotal. But I digress.
Can I just add too that the people that see it are recruiters, so that it's kind of a behind the scenes thing on LinkedIn. So let's say you were in your first job and you were going, oh, I kind of don't love this job, I want to look for another one, but you don't want your boss to know. You can go ahead and fill this all out that you're looking, and your boss would never see it on LinkedIn, but the recruiters who pay the extra fee to search out candidates would see it. And I know a lot of students and young alums who have gotten actual requests. I'm telling you about this job, I just wanted you to know about it, are you interested? So it's a really useful tool to fill out.
Hey, that's my apology, I guess people do see this, but like Marcy said, it is very, very helpful if you do fill that out. Now, so I was trying to do initially. So you click on the jobs tab, and then it has search jobs up here. So just for the sake of continuity, stick with digital marketing. And then let's say Raleigh. So what it's going to do is it's going to present to you, I guess, job opportunities here in digital marketing. Now this is based on jobs. And to the right here, it just gives you filters essentially on what jobs that it's presenting to you. So you can specify, when it was posted. You can specify if someone in your network is associated with that job, just the company. But what I wanted to show you that's applicable to networking is you can specify people. So on this tab over here, after you've searched digital marketing, you can click on people. It presents to you people who may be associated with digital marketing that are in your network. Now, whenever I did this on my account, I actually had people that I'm connected with that were in digital marketing, so that would show up. But it also presents to you people who are second and third connections. Now, does anyone know how that works, like a first connection versus a second and a third? Okay, so these numbers up here, they denote kind of like where they are in your web. So for example, if I'm connected to Savannah, we are directly connected to each other. She's a first connection. Let's say Savannah is connected to Cassie. She's a second connection. Let's say she was connected to Marcy. Marcy would be my third connection. So you can see the progression of that. So seeing these numbers, whenever you search for, for a job and you see how these people are associated with your network, it kind of gives you an idea of where they are in proximity to your connections. So these people are obviously pretty far out, but they still are applicable as far as messaging and being, hey, like saying, hey, I want to get involved in digital marketing. I noticed that you did this project. I was wondering if you can tell me more about that. Please accept my connection request. So that's just another tool. There's many other things you can do with this. Obviously, there's many categories. There's also many filters you can use. So you can definitely play around with it. That's kind of how I learned to use it. I just messed with it, and you learn by trial and error like that. But it's just another tool to find connections and possibly connect with them and grow your network. So.
Okay, and going off of that and helping find people and things like that. So we want you to talk to someone at your table, or you guys can talk at the table as a whole. If you, someone you want to connect with, who would be someone that you look up to and that inspires you? Maybe this can be an upperclassman, this can be a former professor, even a high school teacher, just someone attainable who you could potentially connect with in the future, and who you really want to help you stuff you do.
I'll let you jump in. They're doing an activity.
They're up to technical education, which is business in high school, and he kind of inspired me to take the business route.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and same person. He's gone more into higher up in the education world, but he's he's but he did a lot of good things in stuff.
Great.
If somebody does have a research position, they could help you make it as well.
Okay.
I
think thinking of people have inspired me, but
I highly
trying to think of someone.
Who's your chauffeur?
Is there any questions?
She may be a good person.
Yeah.
He's really sweet.
I connect with you guys within the school.
Yeah.
We do, and I also definitely haven't taken advantage of that at all, which is something I should take. Which I really just don't really, kind of pay much attention to
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
That's what you said you're a senior, right?
But I came to
Sounds like a good time to actually
and I got on it and played around with it, so.
do you guys have
And
any
it's interesting, I just being alone.
Yeah.
See what different people like, so.
How kind of hard
I definitely don't take advantage of it as much as I should, but I need to. I'm gonna do it right.
Alright, so the point of this was just to kind of think about and talk to other people about like who you'd want to connect with and maybe get ideas from other people and like, oh, that kind of person would be cool to connect with as well. And as you grow your LinkedIn profile and as you learn how to like write connection requests, you should go ahead and connect with the people who you actually want to see your stuff.
And another thing to note about connecting with professors and faculty, you definitely shouldn't do it like right off the bat, just because you had a class with this professor, you might have talked to them once, but if you attended office hours pretty consistently, or you did have some sort of dialogue with this faculty member, definitely go ahead and do that, because that could be the beginning of a possible relationship that could lead also to a letter of recommendation or something like that. So just as far as connecting with faculty, definitely make sure that it's not like premature if you try to connect with them.
So a big part of networking on LinkedIn is just trying to get people to see you and what you're good at, and what your strengths are, and part of this is adding media to your profile. We also cover this in the Learning LinkedIn, but I thought this would be something good to add here. When you add media, you can add it to your experience section or your education section. So maybe you worked in a job where you had to give a presentation, or you came up with some new documents that are used in a filing process, and you want to put that up there and show that you have these organizational skills, or that you're detail oriented, or anything like that. The art of adding the media helps humanize you and allows the recruiters to see that, oh, they can actually produce this stuff. It shows your results, which is another important thing. If someone is viewing you, they can bring it up in your profile. If someone wants to connect with you, that's a good thing for them to do. So some things to think about when you're putting that media is it going to make you stand out, or is it just going to be something like hiding in the background? Because you want to be selective, you don't want to overwhelm people. Or if it's something you're strongly interested in, like if you volunteered overseas and you wanted to include a picture of that, that would be something that's very appropriate and could really highlight maybe your passion for volunteerism, or your global and intercultural strength.
As far as maintenance goes with your LinkedIn profile, you definitely want to, not consistently, but every now and then actually get on your LinkedIn profile, because if you initially put all your information on there as far as your education, experiences, and then never touch it again, well, within a series of months, it's going to be outdated. You're going to have new experiences. Your resume might have changed, which might be on your LinkedIn profile as well. Things could be different, and so it's pretty much outdated. And it's honestly better to not have a LinkedIn profile than to have one that's completely obsolete, that doesn't build your professional brand at all, and has information that's not updated at all. So you definitely want to maintain it. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be every